There's a version of you that walks into a room and immediately starts looking for signs that you are welcome there. That version is costing you everything. You know this feeling. You say something and immediately check the room. Did they like it? Did it land? Are they with you? And in that half second of checking, you have already told everyone in the room exactly how much power they have over you. The need for approval is the most expensive habit a man can have. It costs him his presence, his authority, his ability to be taken seriously by anyone who can read people, and almost everyone can read people. Here is a real example. Think of the last time you were in a meeting. The person who spoke with the most certainty, who did not look around after speaking, who simply said their piece and let it land, who did the room respect most? It was not the loudest person, it was the most grounded one. That grounded person was not special, they had simply stopped needing the room's permission to exist in it. And that single shift, from needing to not needing, changed how everyone around them behaved. Machiavelli watched this dynamic for 14 years at the highest levels of power, and what he documented about approval, authority, and the men who commanded rooms without asking permission is exactly what you are about to receive. This is not about becoming cold or dismissive. It is about understanding the difference between wanting people to like you, which is human, and needing them to, which is a trap. Wanting approval is natural, needing it is a leash, and someone, somewhere, is holding the other end. Today, you find the leash. You see it clearly for the first time, and then you decide what to do with that information. Stay with me, because what comes next will change how you walk into every room for the rest of your life. Here's what you were taught. Be agreeable, be likable, make people comfortable, do not rock the boat, get along with everyone. These lessons were not wrong, they were incomplete. What nobody told you is that agreeableness practiced from a place of genuine security is magnetic. But agreeableness practiced from a place of fear, fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of not being liked, reads as weakness to everyone around you, instantly. People can feel the difference. They cannot always name it, but they feel it. The man who agrees because he wants to, and the man who agrees because he's afraid not to, produce completely different responses in the people around them. The approval seeker is always slightly behind, slightly reactive, slightly tilted toward whoever they need something from. And that tilt, that barely perceptible lean, is the thing that costs them the room. You have felt this. You have left conversations feeling smaller than you entered them, not because anyone was cruel, but because you were working the entire time, managing their impression of you, and that work exhausted you and showed. The man who is not managing impressions, who simply is, takes energy from rooms rather than spending it there. He leaves conversations larger because his presence was real rather than performed. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. You are not learning to stop caring about people. You are learning to stop needing people to validate your right to take up space. Your right to take up space does not come from their permission. It never did. You just forgot that for a while, and this video is about remembering. Machiavelli called approval-seeking one of the most predictable vulnerabilities a prince could have, because once your enemies know you need to be liked, they know exactly how to control you. They simply threaten to withdraw the approval you cannot survive without. The man who does not need your approval cannot be controlled by threatening to withdraw it. That makes him the most difficult man to manipulate in any room, and the most powerful. That is who you are becoming, not through performance, through a genuine internal shift that changes how every room receives you permanently. Machiavelli documented this shift in the men he observed. The moment a man stopped needing the room's validation, the room began offering it without being asked. That's the paradox at the center of all of this. Stop chasing what will follow you once you stop running. That's the lesson. 6 specific ways to build it, starting now. Machiavelli paid for this understanding with 14 years of observation and the loss of everything he built. You are getting it in the next 20 minutes. Use it accordingly. Let me show you who he was, and then what he knew about you long before you were born.
Niccolo Machiavelli understood approval, not as a philosopher, but as a practitioner. He spent 14 years in rooms where approval was currency, and he watched men destroy themselves, spending it on people who would never be satisfied. He watched princes compromise their positions, their principles, and eventually their power, all in pursuit of being liked by people who were never going to like them anyway. He called it one of the most reliable paths to ruin he ever observed. Machiavelli himself was not universally liked. He was respected by some, feared by others, and despised by many. He did not lose sleep over any of it, because he had separated being liked from being effective long before anyone threatened either. He wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Most people misread this as cruelty. It is not. It is a precise observation about dependency. Love, the kind built on approval-seeking, creates dependency. Respect, the kind built on consistency and groundedness, creates authority. He was not telling you to be cruel. He was telling you that love, built on need, yours or theirs, is unstable, and unstable foundations produce unstable outcomes every time. 6 lessons from Machiavelli on approval, authority, and the internal shift that changes everything. Each one is simple, each one is immediately usable, and each one will feel slightly uncomfortable, which means it is working. These are not lessons in becoming unlikable. They are lessons in becoming uncontrollable. The two are very different things. Unlikable men push people away. Uncontrollable men pull people in, because there's nothing more attractive than someone who is genuinely complete without you. That completeness, that genuine internal sufficiency, is what Machiavelli was describing, and it is buildable, deliberately, starting with the next 6 lessons. Pay attention, not just to the lessons, but to how they land in you. That landing is the beginning of the shift. Lesson 1. Every time you check for approval after speaking, you undo what you just said. The check matters more than the words. Stop checking. When you speak and then scan the room for reaction, you are communicating 2 things simultaneously. First, here's my thought. Second, please tell me if it was okay. The second message cancels the first. The room hears the second louder. The fix is simple but uncomfortable. Say your piece, then stop. Look forward or down, not around. Let the silence after your words be occupied by the words themselves rather than by your need for reaction to them. Think about the person at work or in your life who speaks and simply waits. No scanning, no adjusting, no softening after the fact. Do you remember how their words feel different? Heavier? That weight is what happens when approval seeking is removed from the equation. Starting today, speak once, land it, let it sit. Whatever happens next is the room's business, not yours. Lesson 2. Other people's opinion of you is not your price. Your opinion of yourself is. And most men have outsourced that pricing to people who have no idea what they are actually worth. When you need others to approve of you, you are letting them set your price, and they will almost always set it lower than it actually is. Not out of malice, simply because people value what they do not fully have access to, and you have been giving everyone access. The man who knows his own value does not need others to confirm it. He already has the number, and when the room offers a lower figure, he simply does not accept the bid. No argument, no defense, just no. Starting today, write down 3 things you are genuinely good at, not things others have praised, things you know. That list is the beginning of a self-assessment that does not require external input to remain valid. Machiavelli had a precise assessment of his own capabilities, not arrogant, accurate. That accuracy meant he was never destabilized by dismissal and never inflated by praise.
He had his own number, and nobody else's arithmetic affected it. Lesson 3. The approval seeker cannot disagree, because in his mind, disagreement equals rejection, and that equation is destroying his credibility, one capitulation at a time. You know this pattern. Someone says something you do not agree with. Instead of saying so, you nod. You adjust your position to match theirs. You find a way to agree, not because they convinced you, because disagreeing felt too risky. Here's what that capitulation costs you. Every time you agree with something you do not believe, you become slightly less trustworthy. The room may not consciously notice, but it registers, and over time, they stop bringing you real problems because they sense you will just agree with whatever they say. Starting today, when you disagree, say so simply, not aggressively, just clearly. I see it differently. 3 words, no drama, no apology. Then explain your view once and let it stand. Machiavelli disagreed with popes and princes directly, clearly, without softening his assessment to protect their feelings. That directness was not rudeness, it was respect. The respect of treating someone as capable of handling an honest position. Lesson 4. The moment you start explaining why you deserve respect, you have already demonstrated that you are not sure you do. Respect is not argued for, it is inhabited. You know this situation. Someone dismisses you, at work, in a relationship, in a social setting, and you feel the pull to list your credentials, your accomplishments, your reasons for being taken seriously. Every word of that list costs you credibility with the person you are trying to convince. Because the man who needs to list his credentials does not believe his presence alone communicates them. And he is right, his presence does not, because he has spent years explaining rather than simply being. Starting today, when dismissed, do not explain. Simply continue doing what you are doing at the highest level available to you. Your consistency will become the argument, and it will be an argument that cannot be countered. Think about someone you genuinely respect. Did they earn that respect by explaining why you should give it to them? Or did it arrive without announcement through what they consistently did and how they consistently carried themselves? Lesson 5. The approval seeker is especially vulnerable to one specific tool, the compliment, because the person who gives you the approval you need can take it back, and that threat, even unspoken, shapes your behavior. Here's how it works in practice. Your manager gives you consistent praise. You start shaping your work around what produced the praise rather than what you actually think is right. The praise has become the compass, and whoever controls the praise now controls your direction. The fix is not to stop appreciating compliments. It is to stop needing them to continue. Receive a compliment gracefully, say thank you, and then go back to doing what you were doing before it arrived, because your direction does not change based on whether it was praised or not. Machiavelli warned princes about advisors who told them only what they wanted to hear, not because those advisors were evil, but because they were approval-seeking. They had given the prince's opinion the power to determine their own direction, and that made them useless as advisors and dangerous as influences. Be the advisor who tells the truth even when it's uncomfortable. In your own life, be the advisor who tells yourself the truth even when it's uncomfortable. That internal honesty is the foundation of everything that follows. Lesson 6. All of the previous lessons are techniques. This one is the foundation. The only permanent solution to approval seeking is genuine internal completeness. The feeling that you are enough right now without external confirmation. Techniques without the foundation are temporary. You'll stop checking for a week, then revert. You'll hold a boundary for a month, then collapse it. because the underlying belief that you need their approval to be okay has not changed, only the behavior has, and behavior without belief does not hold. The belief that needs to change is simple to say and takes time to build. I am enough right now, not when I achieve more, not when they finally see it, now, with what I currently have and what I currently am. Starting today, once a day before any important interaction, ask yourself honestly, am I walking into this room complete, or am I walking in needing something from it? The answer determines everything about how you show up. Machiavelli's most effective princes were complete men. They wanted things from the world, power, territory, legacy, but they didn't need the world's approval to feel like themselves. That separation between wanting and needing was the source of everything they built. The old you is gone. The man who scanned every room for signs he was welcome, who agreed when he disagreed, who listed credentials to people who should have been able to see them, who needed the compliment to continue working. That man is finished. You are a weapon pointed at your own future. A man who doesn't need the room's approval is genuinely free, not free from caring about people, free from being controlled by whether they approve of him. That distinction is the entire game. You belong to no one, not to their approval, not to their opinion, not to the version of you that needed all of it to feel okay. From here, your direction is yours. Your assessment of yourself is yours. Your presence in every room is yours, completely and without apology. Machiavelli spent his life watching men give their power to people who hadn't earned it and documenting the cost. You now know the cost. You now know the alternative. The choice between them is yours, and it always was. If this reached you, it reached you because some part of you already knew. You have been giving away something that was never meant to be given. Today, it stops. Subscribe if you are ready to build from the inside out rather than from the outside in. This channel is for men who are done waiting for the room's permission to be themselves. Each week, one more layer, one more truth about power, psychology, and the invisible dynamics that determine who commands rooms and who spends their life trying to be welcomed into them. Be here complete, because that's the only version of you that benefits from what comes next. Before you go, leave your answer in the comments. I read every one. Here's today's question. Think of one specific situation where your need for approval changed your decision. What would you have done differently if you had not needed it? And what would that version of events have looked like?